Okay, so it's 1:30. This is the detention docket for the 323rd. So to explain things, the law says when a child's brought to our detention facility, you must see a judge within the 2 first business days. And the judge has to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, a couple of things I want to go over. First of all, you do have a right to remain silent at today's hearing. However, if you give up that right and say anything, nothing you say at a detention hearing can be used against you at any other type of court setting. Also, will let you know you do have a right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you throughout this whole process. Now, at this hearing, what happens is I will get a report that's written down basically based off the police report that came with you when you were admitted to our detention facility. Based on that report, I need to find that there's probable cause an offense has been committed. What probable cause means is, can somebody articulate, can somebody put into words a series of statements that, if they were true, would be a violation of their laws? All right, this is hearsay. This is not evidence. This is not your final trial today. This is not whether or not you committed an offense. This is simply about deciding whether I should detain you or to release you back into the community. Now, that decision is made after there's probable cause. I'll consider various factors. I'll consider things like if you are a danger to yourself, if you're a danger to others, if you're likely not to appear for court, if you've previously been adjudicated for a felony, among other things. Now, once I make this decision, as I told you, if you are detained, you will see a judge every 10 days while you're here. If you are released, I can release you on any kind of reasonable condition. That includes electronic monitoring, random drug testing, orders on where you can live, orders on where you cannot live, who you can associate with, what rules you have to follow. And those are the conditions of your release. If you do not follow those conditions, then we'll simply issue a warrant and bring you back here. Now, there will be information that you have that I do not have. This always happens, and that's okay. That's the law. So if you do have information that's useful for your case, this is not the time to blurt it out. That is something that you want to convey to your attorney so that they can decide when the best time to use that is. And this is also directed at the parents. I am certain there is information about your child that I will not have today. That's just the way the system works. This is not the trial. This is not about what finally happens to your child. This is simply about detaining them or releasing them. If you do have information that is pertinent and useful, then I would tell that to your child's attorney so they can decide how to use this. Oh, finally, I do see some people wearing masks. That's fine. If you want to wear a mask, that's okay. If you want to take it off, that's okay too. No one's going to give you a hard time either way. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Destiny. Hello, Ms. Paxton.
Hi.
Okay, so Destiny, you've been here for 30 days. You were brought in November for something that happened in August. Evidently, you were with a group of teenagers. Elderly victim walked behind you. The group started yelling at the victim. And he was trying to respond, but because of his age and medical condition, could not communicate. So you admitted to pushing him down the street and ran away when you saw he was not getting up. He was transported to the hospital with a brain bleed. You were set for court on July 16th. Okay, you are level 1 outstanding. You have been for almost a month now. The victim was hospitalized almost all of August, and now he is having difficulty speaking and seizures. Okay. Stephanie, are there any notes from here? Do we have a parent here for Destiny?
It looks
Yes.
like mom's here.
Mom? Hello, Mom. Okay, so Destiny, I had released her before, is that correct?
Your Honor, we had a detention hearing on the 25th of May in front of Judge Cherry because she was leaving the home without permission and having other issues. And so Judge Cherry elected to hold her at that time.
Okay.
The last detention hearing we had in here, you had questions about why she was living with the aunt instead of the mom all this time. And the mom was trying to explain, and you decided to hold her at that time.
Okay,
The mom does want to have her home.
I remember that. So Mom, you want her in your home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so has she been living with you all this time?
Before,
Before when?
last year and earlier this year. The reason why she went back to my sister, that she loves her, like she don't have no children, and
So Patsy, we released Destiny to her mom or to the aunt?
to me,
In the beginning, it was to the aunt.
Okay,
She's lived on and off with mom and aunt.
like does she have permission? So I'm trying to figure this out. So when this offense happened, allegedly, she was living with her mom or with the aunt?
she was with my sister.
In August of last year, she was with your sister?
Yes, sir.
And she came here in November. In November, when she was brought here, was she living with you or with your sister?
Yeah, when we took her home, she was with
No,
me,
in November, when she was brought here, was she living with you or with your sister?
with my sister.
Okay, so when she was released from here,
She
when
was
was she
released.
released, Patsy?
She was released to me.
I'm not positive. 12/7.
12/7. Okay, so when we released her, who did we release her to? Like, who signed her out? Her aunt signed her out. Okay, and so she was living with her aunt this whole time until when was she brought in front of Judge Terry?
May 25th.
Okay, so for the 5-6 months, she was living with her aunt, but was she violating her EM conditions?
No.
Okay, what was the reason Judge Terry decided to hold her? Do you know?
Because she had been sneaking out of the house. Her aunt's home.
Okay, so she wasn't on EM, she just was violating the rules.
She had been taken off of the EM at that point.
Okay. Do we know where she was sneaking out to? Mom, where was she sneaking out to?
To a friend.
The same friends that she got arrested with here?
No, sir.
Okay. So what kind of friends have a 15-year-old girl coming over, 14-year-old girl coming over in the night?
She sneak out of my sister's house and go to her friend's house, and when I find out about it, I went over there and got her.
Yeah, but what kind of people allow a 14-year-old girl to come over to their house in the middle of the night?
They feel like you see that she's a good child, really respectful. They don't have no problem with it.
Okay, Mom, you see my problem? The parents of the friends, how can they think she's a good child if she's showing up in the middle of the night at their house? Right? Ms. Paxton, was this like an every night thing?
No,
So she was on electronic monitor before,
she was.
and
She was successful.
she was successful. So Mom, what is the plan now? About to release Destiny? Will she be living with you or with Aunt?
With me,
Okay.
I'm here to take her, and she's gonna be staying with me from now on.
So Destiny, my problem is that clearly you weren't being supervised when this allegedly happened, this injury case to the elderly person. And then now you're not accepting supervision by sneaking out of the house. And if you're not going to follow the rules and be supervised, then I've got bigger issues. I do not want to put you in a situation where you can go back and commit another offense. Ms. Paxton, were the other teenagers arrested as well?
Yes, I believe so, Your Honor.
They all have pending cases?
I believe so. I'm not positive.
Okay. All right. Well, Destiny, you're level 1 outstanding. You have been for almost a month now. I'm going to go ahead and give you another shot at this. I can release an electronic monitor, but you have to understand that when we have our rules, we have our rules. Mom, what's the name of the friend that she was sneaking out to?
I really don't know her name. 'Cause
Okay.
I wasn't trying to know her. I just took her home and I told her never go back over there to that friend's.
So you knew where the address was? How'd you know where they lived?
Somebody told me I have reached out to so many people that knows us and know Destiny. And then someone told me where she was at. She was at a girl's house.
So you didn't knock on the door and say, why is my kid here?
I did. I asked for the girl's mother and I asked the mother, how can you allow the 14-year-old in your home without concern?
What did she say?
The mother said, well, she looked like a really good child. I heard that my daughter go to school with her and she's a good student at school.
And so you never caught her name?
No,
Okay, I'm
I
assuming you're a
wasn't
boyfriend?
trying, I was just more angry.
Sir, I would assume you're a boyfriend or?
Yes, my fiance.
Fiance, okay, so do you know the name of these people?
No, I do not, but we did get the police involved because we think it was kind of bad area, so the police did, get involved on this, and they was trying to help find her also. So we were comfortable taking her home, cause they over there, that's where the trouble began. So by her being at our place,
What do you mean that's where the trouble began?
when she was over at aunt's house, that's when all this situation occurred. So with us, we feel like she'll be better over there, and they don't know where we live at, the friends and stuff. And I'm not gonna allow them to, to come over there and pick her up and go out to stay off the monitor, on the monitor. I'm not gonna allow it.
So nobody knows the name of these people that she was staying. How long was she staying there?
Less than a week, like 4 days.
So your daughter is with some strangers for 4 days, and then when you actually meet them, you never ask them their name?
To me, she called my sister and let her know where she was at. She goes by my sister's house. But to me, I was worried about it. She's not, I feel like she's not allowed to be out there. She's supposed to be at home.
Like, how long was she gone from her aunt's house before you found out she was gone?
A day. And after a day, she really did call my sister to let her know where she was at. But I'm the mother. I feel like, no, you shouldn't be. You should ask Destiny. She said, I did ask Destiny where she was at. She said she was okay. And to me, it wasn't enough. So
Who said she was okay?
my sister said it was okay, but to me, it wasn't okay.
When
So
your sister said it was okay or your daughter was okay?
my sister said my daughter told her she was okay.
But she wasn't at your aunt's house.
Yes,
Do you understand that that in of itself is not okay?
it's not okay at all. So I went out the same day and I started looking for her. I shut up her phone and she couldn't reach out to me. I shut up her phone because I feel like she didn't deserve the phone. And she said she was trying to reach out to me and her phone shut up.
Judge, may I offer?
Yes.
Your Honor, it looks like by the way, I'm standing in for Ms. Craven.
Yes.
So I'm not completely familiar with the case, but from what I can see, it looks like disposition is set July 16th. I'm not quite sure what disposition is going to be. I'm assuming some type of probation at home, and I'm guessing it's going to be with mother. Your Honor, what I would propose is that the court entertain putting her on electronic monitor with home detention to give the court an idea of how successful she's going to be when she finally does go on probation on July 16th. This would be a great opportunity to test the waters. In addition, I'd like the court to keep in mind that a lot of these problems, it sounds like, happened under the care of the aunt, not necessarily the mother. And it sounds like the mother and the fiance are prepared today to ensure that Destiny has the proper supervision. And if you don't mind, Your Honor, if I could elicit just a few questions from the mother in terms of her availability to supervise.
Yeah, sure.
And ma'am, what is your name?
Lisa Locani, same last name as Destiny.
All right. And do you work?
No, I have a autistic daughter. She don't speak.
I can hear you, man.
I have an autistic daughter. She don't speak. She don't do language, and I took care of her.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. If you could just keep the question or the answers down to yes or no, that would be great. Okay. So you are at home full time?
Yes.
Will you be able to provide full-time supervision for your daughter while she's at home?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to release your daughter today?
Yes.
If she is released on electronic monitor and home detention, will you assure that she stays home and she is properly supervised all day long?
Yes.
Are there any others inside the home?
Nobody.
Okay, so it will be you, your daughter, and your
Yeah.
other daughter.
Yes.
What
And
about your fiance?
Yes.
Okay, does your fiance work?
Yes.
Okay, and what are his hours? What are his hours at work?
From 8 o'clock to 5.
Okay, and so if you need to run any errands, will you be able to do it while your fiance is at home so that Destiny can remain supervised at all times?
Yes.
Okay, no further questions, Your Honor. And Ms. Destiny did bring certificates to show that she has done very well in detention. She's been on level 1 for a number, I believe, how long have you been? Almost 30 days, Your Honor.
May 29th or something.
Yes, Your Honor.
So. Okay, Destiny, I'm gonna go and release an electronic monitor, and we'll see how it goes, but, you know, what could end up happening out of this is you just give me more information on why you don't need probation, all right? So, it's your chance to see what you do with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ascari. Thank you, sir. All right, Ascari. You're 15, you've been here for 2 weeks. Back in June, 4th PD brought you in. They're saying there was a disturbance over on Oakland Boulevard. That was a victim who said he was assaulted by his friend, Ascari. When I talked to him, he said it started about 1 in the morning, got off work, went home, and that you were making fun of him for being friends with a gay male. Their apartment, you were at his apartment. So you were telling him to come outside, saying that he had stolen money from your mom. And when he went outside to speak with you, you and 2 other black males, one suspect is Malik. We know Malik, right? He's one of our, oh, he's here. Okay. So you and Malik started striking him outside the apartment. He was trying to defend himself, went back in, and the 3 of you allegedly went into the apartment and continued to hit him while he's on the floor. And Christian stood in the doorway as lookout. So David ran, called the police. There was a camera, and it showed you rushing his apartment and saw Christian stand by. So you're looking at burglary and habitation. And this happened while you were on probation for felony tampering with evidence, unlawfully carrying a weapon, a firearm. You were positive for marijuana while you're on probation. While you've been on probation since September of 20, you've had curfew violations, suspended from homeschool. How do you get suspended from homeschool? His regular school, okay. Oh, from his homeschool, all right. Refused to participate in our family partnership program. Unsuccessfully discharged from outpatient drug treatment. We had an administrative hearing, and to address these issues, you've done 36 of your 64 community service hours. And you're level 2 acceptable for playing in the cafe and sharing your snacks with a peer. Before that, you dropped from 1O to 1 acceptable. There are no notes. All right, Scary, you clearly can't follow. Do we have a parent here? Yes. Yes. Hello, Mom.
Hello.
Have you been able to talk to your son while he's here?
I have my back, but he called.
He calls? Have you been able to visit him?
No, I came
Oh.
Saturday.
I'm sorry?
I came on Saturday.
You can't set it. Okay, did we explain to you, did they explain about the visitation rules that we're allowing the in-person visitation now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I hope you take advantage of that. It seems like Ascari really hasn't learned much while he's on probation and with this new offense. So if he's going to continue to act up and cause problems, well, I can't release him back to you because I don't want to put him in your home where he disrespects you and doesn't follow your rules and has an attitude at your home. He needs to go home and be a good son. That's all I want from him. All right. So I'm going to detain your son for now.
Okay.
We'll revisit this in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you have your visits. You can sit down. You're not getting up yet. I'm not done with you. Scary, what you don't understand right now with your attitude, Mom, this is the same attitude he has with you, I'm assuming. Is that about right?
Sometimes.
Pouts, acts like a baby when he doesn't get his way?
Mhm.
Okay, so, Ascari, what you have to understand is you have this new offense of burglary of habitation, but you are currently on probation already. And he is currently on the felony probation too, is that correct? One misdemeanor, one felony. All right, so Ascari, what you have to understand is, as a result, if you violate your probation, you could be going to the Texas Juvenile Justice Department on an indeterminate sentence. All right, there's one person that decides whether that's gonna happen or not, and that person happens to be me. All right, and that being said, you have one person in the world that you need to impress to make sure that you don't go to TJJD. It's not your mom at this point. You need to impress me, the judge, all right? And so if you're standing up and acting defiant like you're too busy or you're too good for these court hearings, that's a quick way to tell me that there's nothing that our probation department can do for you, that we need to send you to TJJD because we can't help you here. And if you're trying to tell me that we can't help you and that you don't deserve another chance, then you're doing a good job with that. So we'll have a hearing, I'll be fair at the hearing, but I need you to understand that every one of your actions is looked at under a microscope and we're all paying attention. And if you're giving me nonverbal cues about how to treat you or what your attitude is, then you're doing a very good job of communicating that to me. So we will see in 2 weeks at the 10-day hearing. Hopefully we'll have better information about you on why it's appropriate to release you back to your mother and put you back in the community instead of removing you from the community. Thank you, Ascari. Thank you. Thank you, Mom. All right, next is Malik. Thank you. Okay, thank you. All right, Malik, so you're here with Ascari on the burning of habitation. However, you on probation for stealing a car. On June 19th, you went from level 1 outstanding, level 1 acceptable to from 1 outstanding, since you were slow to enter the program. So that means he was slow to get out of his room, correct? Okay. On June 16th, you went from 1O to 1A for the same thing. And you also were on probation and tested positive for marijuana when you got picked up for the burglary of a habitation case. And Malik, you have to understand that one of the conditions of probation is you don't associate with people that are on probation. So even being next to Ascari was a violation of her probation. Aside from the smoking marijuana and aside from the alleged going to house to beat somebody up. You're 14 years old. All right, do we have a parent here? Not here? Okay. So furthermore, Malik, you had restitution of $685 from your stolen car case. And we only recently got the first payment of about $115. Did we contact Mom? She just wasn't unable to make it. Okay. Margaret, Mr. Mitchell, how far did his behavior level drop? Just the 1A? Just Have you talked to mom about restitution lately?
I talked to her about it, we finished it on last time, I think that's why the payment was made, because initially she was trying to get a job.
Okay,
Tried to help with restitution, and did find a job for him, but it didn't work out, because of the smoke on sand.
right.
By the time he made up in his own mind, he was gonna go ahead and do it, they were like, no, you waited too long, we found somebody else.
Yeah. You know, Mr. Mitchell, sometimes not to decide is to decide. All right, Malik, this is what I'm gonna do. You are level 1 outstanding. I'm not happy about you dropping down, but you're here on this date. All right, I'm gonna release an electronic monitor. A large part has to do with the fact that your mom started these restitution payments as well, okay? Remember, since you've previously been adjudicated for a felony, this isn't even, I don't even have to decide whether you're a danger to yourself or others not. Simply the fact that you have a prior felony allows me to hold you, okay? So it seems like you're turning the page, trying to do the right thing, especially with your mom making the restitution payment, you trying to get a job. I want to encourage you to follow down that path. You cannot associate with any other child or adult that's on probation, on supervision, either through our juvenile department here in Tarrant County or with adult probation. Okay, you will have an electronic monitor. It will set off an alert when you're around them. All right, do not push me on this one because next time I may not detain you. I may not release you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Lita. Thank you, Mr. Willis. Good to see you. You're not going to San Antonio?
No, we're not coming tomorrow, but it's not intentional.
Where are you going?
To Mexico.
I'm sorry?
Mexico, we're friends are getting married there, so.
Oh, fantastic.
That's the trouble with it.
That's a whole lot better than a CLE. Yes, thank you. All right, Lita, so you just turned 15 this month. You're level 1 outstanding, and you have been for about 3 weeks. Lita, I think it's one of those, while you're here, you behave, and it makes me want to release you. This is what, the 7th or 8th time I've seen you over the years from another facility. All right, I'm just convinced if I let you go that you're gonna run off like you have every other time. Okay, so it's just because I don't think they'll show up for court. I think I just need to go in and detain you. We're looking at another placement for you. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'll wait on the psychological return, and then we'll conduct the search at that time.
Right. And the parents are not. I don't think I saw them. Oh, hello.
Hi.
The mask. I didn't recognize you. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for being here. I think if I let Lita go, she would just run away. You know, she's done that over and over. I don't know what to do with her. I wish she would just go home and be a little girl, but she doesn't want to. And there's nothing it seems like you and I can do about this. So, you know, hopefully she learns. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So, Lita, I just want to make sure that you understand you are free to make your own choice. You're just not free to choose your consequence. Okay? This is the consequence of escaping a facility. All right. So, thank you. Thank you. Carrie Ann. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Carrie Ann, you just turned 17 this week. 22nd, you're brought in for EM violation. You left home at 4 o'clock in the morning, came back at 6. Dad was called, he left his job to check on you. When he got home, the door was unlocked and you were not home. So the police issued the warrant, or executed the warrant when you got back, brought here without incident. And we drug tested you, you were negative, good. You're on probation for failed ID. Oh, Turner, so this is your first, this is original detention, all right. So you were out. All right, Ms. Cruz, help me out on this one. So why was he on the EM?
He came for me just recently, like last week or something else. And I think it was because he was leaving home and going to a location without permission, because he had a criminal trespass,
Sure.
so that's why.
So he was on probation
Yes.
for failed ID and criminal trespass. And then why he's on probation, so he got arrested for failed ID, then in January, in April, he got arrested for criminal trespass and failed ID. And then while he's on probation, he's sneaking out of the house. So we put an EM on him. And then and he's positive smoking weed while he's on probation too. No, he hadn't taken probation yet. Okay. So then he's sneaking out of the house, we put a GPS on him, and he sneaks out again while he's had the GPS. All right, that makes sense. Do we know where he went for those 2 hours?
It just says he went to Venture Apartments. I'm not sure where he went.
We don't have any connections or no? Okay. Do we have a parent here?
No, sir, he did not.
Okay. All right, well, Tarian, I mean, this is the consequence. We put the EM on you because you were sneaking out, and you decided that while you had the EM on, you're still gonna sneak out. And so at this point, had you talked to Dad
Yes.
and his conversation with Dad?
My conversation with Dad, Dad is concerned because he leaves him at home and he thinks he's gonna be home, and then he goes home. This is like the second time within a week or so.
Right.
He's come home and the door's been unlocked, so Dad's a little concerned.
Sure. I'm sure Dad works hard for his things. And let me just tell you what I see here. I'm not really that worried about you, like going out, robbing people, shooting people. Like, there's nothing to indicate that you're really a danger. What I'm concerned about is the fact that you're just not responsible at 17, and your decisions could negatively affect other people, like leaving your dad's house unlocked when you leave. You just lock the door. The problem here is when you go on probation, you're telling me, you're saying, Judge Kim, give me a chance. Yes, I broke the law, but I don't need anything big. Just, if you give me a chance, I'll show you I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna follow your rules. I'm gonna follow Dad's rules. I'm not gonna break the law again. I'm just gonna make better decisions because you don't have to get really involved in my life. But yet, when all this stuff comes up, the fact that you were brought in, we had to put electronic monitor on you because you were sneaking out of the house. And with the electronic monitor, you're still sneaking out of the house. All you're doing is you're telling me that I need to get more involved in your life, right? The best way you can live your life right now is to do what your dad expects you to do, and I don't get involved. But if you refuse to accept your dad's instruction, right, then you're asking me to get involved. It's really that simple, okay? So I am okay releasing you, but I can't release you I can't put a 17-year-old kid out on the streets, right? I hope you understand that. Okay, Ms. Cruz, let's contact Dad, see when Dad can arrange to pick him up. I'm okay releasing him on electronic monitor. kind of giving you a pass on this one, all right? Like, you understand, the next time you come in for violating your EM, it's gonna be a much more uncomfortable conversation, all right? And I'm not gonna feel bad about it. It's just one of those, it's kind of, you're just throwing it in my face next time. And then it becomes personal, and then we're not gonna get along, okay? All right, we'll try it out, Diane. As a large part because you tested clean too. You understand? Had you smoked some weed, we'd be having a different conversation, all right? Asia. Yes, thank you. You know, Patsy, sometimes it's like these kids want to see me. Like deep down inside, they're like, you know what, I miss Judge Kim. I'm gonna sneak out for a bit just so I can see him again.
I think so. They love you.
All right, Asia, never been here before, 15 years old. So yesterday, at 7 o'clock, Fort Worth PD dispatched a domestic. Mom, is Mom here? Hello, Mom.
Hello.
And that is sister, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Your mom told the police that she told you to get up off the couch. You got enraged, swung a power strip, hitting her above the right eye, causing pain. And is that a bruise?
No.
No, okay. Sister came in to help, and then you hit her in the shoulder, allegedly. Then the two fought, and Asia ultimately slammed your sister's head into the wall, causing pain and swelling above the eye. Okay. Well, a big part of this, Mom, is let's figure out where we are. What's going on with Asia? Is there anything that's really changed about her recently? Could you stand up, please?
Just her, she just her attitude. That's the only thing. That's the big issue. That's her first time ever doing anything like this, so it was surprising to me.
Okay.
And she do take medicine, so like I don't know if she took it that day
Okay.
or whatnot. So I can't say that she did or she didn't, but I can tell a difference when she don't take it. She get angry, like she goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
When she doesn't take the medication.
Yes.
Okay. And so when's the last time this is mental health medication?
When the last time she
This
had it?
is mental health medication?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
when's the last time she saw a doctor?
She had a doctor's appointment yesterday at 1 o'clock.
Oh, and she missed it? No,
No, she
went.
had it. We had a virtual appointment.
Okay, did the doctor change the prescription at all?
They didn't change nothing.
Okay. But when she's taking the medication, generally she's okay?
Yeah, she's okay.
All right, so, I mean, I'm just gonna ask you, did you take your medication yesterday? No? Okay. So you understand, in the past, you didn't take your medication. It probably didn't end up so bad, but now that you're 15 and you're making different types of decisions, do you understand how not taking your medication can put you in a really bad situation? Okay. So Mom, do you feel like if she takes her medication, it's safe to bring her back home?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your sister's here. Is she the victim in this offense as well? Okay. All right, so how do you feel about this? Do you feel like if Asia's taking her medication that you're reasonably safe at home?
Yes,
Are you the younger sister or older sister?
younger.
Younger, okay. All right, so now here's the thing. So do you just give her the medication, just let her take it, or is she responsible to take it on her own?
I've tried to trust her to take it on her own, but
Okay.
now I see that I'm gonna have to make sure she take it.
Okay.
Because she at the age, I think that she knows she's supposed to take
She
it.
should. At 15, you should be able to take her medication. So Asia, this is not really based on your mom saying this, but this is my decision, is I am okay to release you back home, but your mom has to watch you take your medication. You understand? This is not her call. Mom cannot say that I trust you, just do it on your own. Like, Mom, I'm part of the condition of her release is that you actually witness her or somebody witnesses her take her medication.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll try that in 30 days if there's no problem, and you feel like, Mom, that we can, let Asia take it on her own, just let Ms. Paxton know, and I can change the rules, change the conditions.
Yes, sir.
But for now, Asia, for the next 30 days, your mom has to witness you taking the medication. Does that make sense? Okay, is that gonna be a problem? So my decision right now, I have a duty that I have to protect your mom and your sister, okay? And since you are the alleged aggressor in this one, the law allows me to keep you here since you cannot go home, okay? Now, I am saying, because your mom and your sister are kind of going to bat for you, and they're also telling me that you need to take your medication, I'm willing to let you go home if you take your medication. Is that a deal that we have? Is that fair? Am I being unreasonable? Okay, so let's go ahead and try it out. Now you understand, if you come back here again for the same thing, you're gonna run out of places to stay at, okay? All right, thank you, Aisha. Mom, she doesn't run away or sneak out or anything like that?
Oh, no, no.
Okay, good. Maya.
May I approach her?
Yes, sir. All right, Maya. Just turned 16 this month. You've never been here before. Do you have a parent here?
No, Your Honor. Mother just started a brand new job today, day 2.
I understand. Okay. All right, so I guess Monday about 7:30, your Arlington PD was dispatched for domestic. Your mom wants to look at something on your phone and you became angry. So allegedly you kicked your mom in the stomach, but did not cause pain. I was yelling at her. So mom's boyfriend intervened and you pushed in, you pushed back. Allegedly you went to the kitchen, threw a knife at him, but he didn't feel threatened. Then allegedly you walk outside and boyfriend followed. I'm assuming mom's boyfriend, not hers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you pushed him, causing the fall. We both began wrestling. He claimed that there was no pain. Although no parties expressed any pain, the officer saw boyfriend had scratched his arm and the pinky nail had torn. So you're arrested for family violence. Back in May, Arlington PD referred you. The SRS in Houston was dispatched about a student, Tamaya, who ran from campus and refused to return. While responding, the officer was dispatched to contact EMS about another student who was pepper sprayed in the face. She said she was best friends with you, and you and her with auditorium. When she touched you on the shoulder, then you allegedly pepper sprayed her in the face and mouth. She felt pain but not seek medical attention. Officer couldn't meet with you since you left campus. And so you're going to be charged with assault. All right, Tamaya, I can tell you where I'm at on this one. If this was a first-time offense, it'd be a lot different. The fact that there's kind of a pattern here, I feel like there's something else going on that I just don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know if you got, I don't know if your situation at home is toxic and creating this environment that you don't have the skills to cope with. I don't know if there's a mental health issue. I don't know, okay? But I'm cautious because there's an allegation of a knife being thrown away, okay? And that's when things get escalated. It's clear that your mom or boyfriend does not want you to be here. I understand that, but as a judge, then sometimes I just have to step in and get involved and interfere, okay? The fact that this is coupled with, and this that happened over at the school, all right, this gives me concern because this is a pattern of behavior of you being aggressive or assaultive with other people, okay? That somehow in your mind, you feel like causing harm to other people is acceptable. All right, so at this point, I'm detaining you. Okay, Ms. Smith, I'll let you talk. At this point, I'm going to detain you unless I feel like I can have more information that lets me become more comfortable with releasing you. All right, now Ms. Smith, maybe you have something that makes me more comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Your Honor, I spent a lengthy amount of time speaking to the mom this morning.
Okay.
In addition, I did speak to the alleged victim of this case. To start off with, the alleged victim in this case does not want to prosecute and move forward. However, I understand that the court, that doesn't address the court's concern. One thing that I want to point out, obviously, in speaking with both my client, the mother, and the alleged victim, this report does not actually reflect what actually happened. And the one thing, obviously, this is not the proper place to litigate this case.
Sure.
If it does go on through to the DA, I would imagine this is a very special case that will get set for trial.
Okay.
The one thing that I do want to point out, that will emphasize, I think, my point is it mentions nothing about my client being touched, harmed, or hurt in any kind of way. But if you pay very close attention, I believe on your report, Your Honor, it's going to be the last sentence on the first page. I have two different reports, I'm not quite sure what you have. But the last sentence reflects that the officers basically noticed that the boyfriend had a scratch on his arm and his pinky nail was bent back.
Right.
I don't know about you, Judge, but whenever I have a pinky nail that's bent back, that's a sign that I've grabbed something or I've done something, correct? I mean, the pinky nail just doesn't get bent back for no reason. With that being said, obviously I'm alluding to that there might have been some violence against my child. She has let me know that she was actually violated that day.
Okay.
I think the parental boundary kind of got overstepped, and that's what actually caused this commotion.
I can see that.
In regards to the mom's position, the mom is asking for her to be released, Your Honor. The mom has emphasized to me that she is concerned with her daughter. And so what we did this morning was we did go ahead and we planned. She has been diagnosed, I believe her mother said, with, correct me if I'm wrong, ADHD, Your Honor. But the mother indicated that there's some mood things that she is concerned about. So what we went ahead and we did, we said if she gets released, and we're hoping she gets released, the very first step is to take her to medical care.
Right. Okay, so let me interrupt because I kind of see where we're going. If there's stuff that you want to add, that's fine. So I want to release you. What I want to do is be a little bit more comfortable because of this pattern of behavior. Okay, part of it's the pepper spray at the school, right? And then you're running. And part of it is what's allegedly happening here at the home. Okay, there's a whole lot that just makes me uncomfortable. That's the bigger issue more than anything else. So can we figure out a time that mom can come?
Absolutely.
And then, so I understand it's her second day, so she can miss work, and I get that. I'm just wondering if there's another day this week, like tomorrow or Friday, that mom can be here, even if it's the afternoon or first thing morning, we can hold a separate detention hearing. I don't want you to be here if you don't need to, okay? I want you to believe me. But you have to understand where I'm coming from. When I see children with a pattern of behavior of aggression, then a lot of times that just escalates to something else and somebody gets seriously hurt. What I see is a pepper spray with your best friend, which I don't get. And I'm also seeing now a knife being thrown, but they're saying that they didn't feel threatened by it, which causes me concern. Because one, either they did feel threatened and they're just lying for you, which they could do that, or that you thought it was appropriate to pull out a knife even as kind of a scare tactic, okay? Which the next time, because once you take that step, the next time is to usually get a knife and throw it to make an effect. Does that make sense? So I'm just seeing this pattern that is what's giving me discomfort. And I just want to be able to talk to your mom or boyfriend and they can tell me and I can ask them some questions, but I do want you out of here, if that makes sense. Okay? So I'm not releasing you yet, but I want to release you. I just have to be comfortable that nobody gets hurt. And this is partly kind of the consequence of both what happened at school and then what happened 2 days ago. You understand where I'm coming from? Okay, I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to hold you here for no reason. I want to give you the respect so you understand exactly why I'm holding you here. And this is straight up, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is exactly what I'm thinking, okay? Ms. Smith, did you have anything to add that would assuage me on those factors?
No, I think, Your Honor, I think it would make the court feel comfortable hearing directly from the mom, so I'm going to try to make that.
I think so, and if it needs to be morning, late afternoon, whatever, just let me know, we'll accommodate you. Okay, and I want to do that to get you out of here, so, fine, okay, I mean that for real, okay? All right, thank you. Now I'll conclude the detention document for today. Thank you, everyone. Yes.
What?
Yeah, just have us through
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Mark.
By the way, I think I finally have the remaining DMD on Jakari.
Okay.
I've been, like, after like a bit ago, I'm like, wait, I never got that. Like, how come I can't close this case? So apparently some stuff just showed up today. So anyway, I'll upload it. I will leave it there for a period of time for you to view if you
Very
want
good.
to, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I will get right on top of that. Thank you, Mark.
As I used to be my computer. I changed things.
And as far as the reset, Mom, if we have a scheduled meeting or discussion today, if you can make it today, is it an option? Okay, so, or Friday, because Thursday, I'm in, Dallas, and I have a whole lot.
So I'll be here all day Friday. Yeah, whatever, I guess I will control logs here. But that's higher. I think what threw me off on that was one of the first cases I had here was a murder where it was not an intentional murder. It was just kind of like an anger threatening jab that actually went over the center. Like, okay, everyone, and I'm just like, ever since then, like, I'll do mine. But yeah, whatever we're sure schedule, mom's schedule, like, there's a first thing like that. Good day.
Yeah. Oh, you are? Okay.
We're short staffed. So
Okay.
it's really challenging for Asian staff. I think that's an issue.
I'm going back to
And if they would allow me to first give him a call.
There you go. There's
I'm just like this.
Just FYI, Carter texted saying there were some people filming in the parking lot. He didn't know why.
No, like TV crews.
I assume it's TV crews. I didn't get clarification on whether it's just, random people or if it's a TV crew. But I can vote.
the free judge.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Bottled water. Double kind of spoon. Bottled.
Oh, would you like a half drink bottle of water?